Alright, so I'm going to talk a little bit about improvising on 2-5-1 progression, something I've talked about before. And so there's lots of, there's a million ways to think about this. You can learn you can just study the basic voice leading, you can transcribe solos, you can learn different patterns, all this kind of stuff, and that is all great and good. But I want to take a slightly different approach to it right now, which is basically what I want to talk about is the idea that ultimately we want to be able to play what we hear, and this is based on my notion that we've all heard so much music. We've got it all in our minds if we can only listen and then figure out how to translate those ideas to the instrument, whatever the instrument is. And the kind of exercise I like to use for this is to I'll cue up a play-along track, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sing a line, and then right after singing it, or sing some kind of phrase or figure, it could just be a rhythm on one note, it could be more of an eighth note line, it could be an arpeggio, any kind of idea, sing it, and then immediately try to play it on the instrument, and then sing another line, try to play it, and we'll see what happens. But one thing that is interesting about when I do this kind of thing is that I find that if the idea is strong enough, clear enough, it doesn't actually matter if the idea exactly lines up with each individual chord as it's going by. You can have a looser relationship to the progression. So if we're playing over 2-5-1, I might sing a phrase that over one section of that progression and then end up playing it over another, but it'll still work. And that's about just the clarity of the idea. So let's try it out. So I'm just going to have this looping play along in 2-5-1 in C major, and here we go. Alright, so that's the idea. So, in a couple of instances I wasn't totally sure if I was playing exactly what I was hearing, so I just stuck with it and played it again until it was clear. But in those cases, it was another example of playing the idea in different places over the chord progression. So not thinking about, I need to play these notes over the D minor and these notes over the G7 and resolve it. I need to have very clear, moving, voice leading, all this kind of stuff. Different approach from that. Those are great exercises to work on, where you're really just clearly voice leading from chord to chord, all the different pathways, and I think that can ultimately help to, strengthen your ears and all that kind of stuff. But this is just about working on the idea of hearing an idea and then playing it, and then making the gap between being able to hear it and play it smaller and smaller, so that ultimately you just play what you hear in the moment. Alright, so try that out. Let me know what you think. Alright.